Welcome back, folks. It's 2-0. Ehome, they look dominant. It's best of 5. Are they doing it? I think they're doing it.
My ears Bible thump. My ears.
Oh. Sorry, guys.
All right,
I think they're going to take it at the rate they're going.
If
here.
anyone was sleeping with their headsets on, they just...
Well, they should
It's
be
like
awake.
they got a full night's sleep. They just...
This is Chinese Dota, Sind.
All right, David. David, can you...
Our producer's mocking me.
Can you relax?
No, I
right,
can't. This
fair
is
enough.
Chinese Dota, man. This is serious business.
Calm down a little bit. That's good.
Don't
do it again.
Don't
Not do it again.
All right, draft has begun. We're going to go ahead, hop into it. It's game 3, and Ehome are looking scary here.
Yeah, they're even going to first
Or
phase
maybe we're
ban
not going to hop
the
into it.
Brood
We
this
will
time.
eventually, though.
All right. They just want
Nice.
to mock us a little bit more. So they're going to ban Brood as well as their own clock, actually, when they have first pick. So I guess they're just assuming that CDEC will be trying for something funky again with the Brood this time. Last time
Wisp
it was
is
second
out
phase ban.
there. Gyro's out there. Undying. Oh, no, Undying's banned again. Oh, AA. Actually, he was banned first phase both games.
Yeah.
Both games.
I think it's a good overall pick for Ehome. I mean, they've shown that they prioritize it quite a bit. And also, if CDEC, we're talking about them doing something weird, and you look at what Wings did, what EP did in their game against Wings, where they kind of went for that all-in pushing strategy, and that's something that you can sort of do to catch your opponents off guard. That's where Ancient Apparition works out beautifully, because it works out great against those heroes like Witch Doctor and these really death ball sustained-oriented pushes.
So the standard Queen of Pain first pick, but there they go. They mix it up with their second pick. Bounty Hunter comes out. Occasionally it's been kind of a go-to for CDEC, especially against the junglers. But even not against junglers, they run this quite a bit.
Against immobile, squishy supports, I think is the big thing. AA certainly fits the bill. Very low armor, not good move speed, doesn't have proper lockdown. But the Gyro, I think, deals with Bounty Hunter reasonably well. The carry that can rotate into the jungle, and if they find him with dust, he will just die to Rocket Barrage.
Yeah. It's a little bit of that vision aspect that I was talking about at the end of game 2 as well, right? I felt like they were just getting initiated on every single time. And now with the Bounty Hunter, hopefully, as you get towards the mid-game, you've got a couple of tracks up here and there. And that at least gives you that a bit of extra information that helps keep you safe. So I think it's good from that perspective. Most of the time when I've seen CDEC playing the Bounty Hunter, it's been to put pressure on sort of an easily ganked mid lane, like a Storm Spirit or a Shadow Fiend, maybe even a Dragon Knight from time to time. Though I feel like they've lost some of the surprise factor of the Bounty Hunter somewhat. You'll probably see Ehome, one of the supports might even end up ferrying the bottle to mid lane. There'll probably be a sentry on CTY playing mid, and they'll just make sure that those gimmicks of the Bounty Hunter don't necessarily come to fruition, but I think it's still a good pick overall.
Yeah. They had to pick it here as well, because it's been banned second stage both games. So if they don't grab it now, they're not getting it.
I'm also thinking just if you think about what CDEC have done in the last 2 games, it's like they tried the split push with Brood, didn't work. They tried organized teamfight lineup that has a lot of stuns and synergy, didn't work. So now they're going to try the Chaos style with a full roaming support. And if that doesn't work either, they've kind of tried their whole arsenal, right?
Mm-hmm,
so at this point, I think you're kind of desperate and you just want to at least get a win and get some sort of foot into the series. And if they do manage this, we might see them go back for a strat that's similar to what they ran in one of their 2 previous games. But I wouldn't be surprised to see them pull out 1 or 2 additional picks that we didn't see in either of the last 2 games, because I feel like Ehome just has their number. So then you need to get a new number.
Yeah.
Depends how crazy your stalker is.
Yeah. True.
Darkseer.
Okay.
Darkseer Bounty Hunter. This is going to be very interesting. That is a
Ion Shelled Bounty Hunter.
devastating laning stage combo, potentially.
We can't beat our opponents. They're really good. So we're going to do a 2K MMR strat.
You've got Gyrocopter, who's one of the better heroes at dealing with this.
Yes.
Wouldn't be surprised to see them pair another strong support with the AA. Rubik would have been great, but that gets spanned out. But there's still other options
And
available.
getting an early dust, really, like you have to be careful with that combo. You're and we're going to be cheesy with Ion Shell. Oh, wait, dust, Rocket Barrage, you're dead.
They definitely want a lockdown kind of hero. Like that's where AA Gyrocopter, no real slows or lockdown between the two. And that's something where Rubik would have been the ideal hero of choice probably. But
Lion and Shadow Shaman are still there. And, okay.
Earthshaker's still there.
There you go.
Yeah,
Earthshaker against the
tanky,
Darkseer.
strength support. has plenty of lockdown. I'd say one of the better supports against a bounty hunter.
Yeah.
And really good with the gyrocopter as
Works
well.
well with AA. This is like the very old school combination. Fissure, Cold Feet.
Their duo isn't that good at killing bounty, though,
No,
between their
I'm
two
not.
supports. So he can actually probably move around and cause quite a bit of chaos and at least disallow Ehome from pulling.
Yeah,
just
that's
get
it. I
half of
kind of
it.
disagree that Urshick is good against Bounty Hunter. I think he's good in this game because of the lockdown he provides and the setup for the gyrocopter to get in close for Rocket Barrage, but I think it's a support that, generally speaking, matches up poorly against Bounty Hunter.
Well, he can't be killed in the jungle. That's the whole point. Like, Bounty cannot just run an Earthshaker down with auto attacks.
yeah. I mean,
The way, like, a Rubik could, for example.
yeah.
Has CTY been playing any puck recently, or has Ehome been playing any puck at all recently?
I don't think anyone's been playing much puck.
Because I think initially when we first started seeing Gyrocopter making a lot of waves, it was Gyrocopter plus puck and using the Dream Coil as a way to set up for call down and really dominating those mid-game fights. And the puck has a fantastic matchup against the Queen of Pain, but we might not be seeing it. And again, I think CTY is a little bit more semi-carry / carry oriented. With
I
his
would
mid-play.
love to see a puck, though. I feel like the hero's still quite strong in this game. It would be excellent for them.
Yeah.
I think it's a Shadow Fiend more likely, but I think Puck's really good.
It's a little risky against the Lion. I guess that's the main hero that can ruin his day.
I think playing Shadow Fiend against a roaming bounty hunter and a Quap is like asking to get killed in mid. But they can protect him with Shaker. So then it's
who's a
about who gets
safer
the better trade-off.
Who do you think is a safer option?
Something like a Wind Ranger, for example. I don't know if CTY plays that, is an option. Other Chinese teams have been playing in this qualifier. What else? I think the Puck is a lot safer too. Mm-hmm. It's an even matchup with Quap, and the chance that Bounty pulls off that gank is really low. Like, then you need to come in at the exact timing. Orb has been used aggressively, and Quap needs to be able to blink Shadow Strike at that time. Then maybe you get a kill. But apart from that, who are we? I kind of need to see the heroes in front of me because I feel like the hero pool of this tournament has been pretty small. So nothing just comes to mind, obviously.
Well, Sendrin, I've got good news for you. You have a computer in front of you, which you can use.
That is true.
To get the list of heroes.
What
But
do you like for RTK here? So I feel like we've touched on TTY's hero a little bit, but what are you feeling from RTK here? Are we going to see some
Bat
like
Rider
his
maybe?
Tide or
I think Bat was pretty good this game. They've already picked their supports. They have no real counter for the lasso initiation. BKB lasso can't be countered actually at all. Great setup for AA Ice Blast. May struggle a little bit in the laning stage. They go Storm, and that does still leave the RTK hero to be picked. I think you ban Bat here if you're CDEC.
Bat is definitely good.
Tidehunter is something they used to play a lot for RTK in the previous patch.
That's overkill, though.
Yeah.
They have enough teamfight control already with Gyro Shaker and AA. They need someone who can go for skirmishes and pair up with Storm.
I would have actually said Spearbreaker is actually not terrible
He would
for
have been
them.
Can they just pick Pugna again?
They banned the Tide. Yeah, I agree. I don't feel like they
might
needed
Pugna
that.
again. They don't have the push potential, any push power whatsoever with their current 4 heroes. But
Yeah.
It is still good against both Quap Darkseer and Lion.
They also don't have any Roche potential. That's actually neither team does.
It's decent against Bounty, too, to be honest, the Pugna.
Mm-hmm.
He generally, he comes in close. He doesn't really deal with the Nether Blast push early on. He only has physical damage after the Shuri Toss, so you can easily just use Decrepify. And
The
it's
Pugna,
not great, but it's not bad.
yeah.
either.
The Pugna is going to die a lot on the offlane, I think, if the Bounty Hunter is roaming properly, because either you're going to die or you're going to have to play extremely defensively, because if you're caught out by the Bounty Hunter at all, I think you're just straight up dead. You've got no escape as a Pugna. So that's probably the big downside of the hero here. But CDEC,
What do they want? I feel like
it can be mid. They can be looking
think
for a
we
mid or a safe
yeah.
lane hero here, because Aggressive has been playing the Queen of Pain. So
he comes
that's something
Shadow
else to
Fiend
keep in
pick
mind.
maybe, or we haven't seen cheeky Shadow Fiend since the group stages. But it's just been such a go-to stable hero for CDEC
Yeah.
especially. But
That's certainly true. I don't know. I just feel like whenever they try to play their standard Dota, it just doesn't work against Ehome. Like, that's where I'm feeling like, do they want to just go a little bit different?
Maybe another hero to exploit the Darks here a little bit. Could we see Aggressive's Faceless Void again? Is that worth the pick?
Do you think they have enough combo potential with the Chrono to make that good? They have Queen of
Yeah.
Pain ult. They have Ion
Yeah.
Shell.
That's enough.
Yeah.
And they have
They-
Finger.
I just
Spike.
feel like they want to want to try and make better use of the Darkseer.
It is really
vacuum.
good lockdown for the Storm as well.
Yeah.
Then they have some serious kill potential on him. Potential Orchid Carry and the Queen of Pain, the Hex, and the Chrono.
The downside is that both Gyro and Shaker are actually really good against Void in the Chrono, because you just have the obvious counterplay when he goes in. So he needs a BKB before he can reliably engage. Even AA is good too. Like landing these spells is very easy. That's obviously working under the assumption that he's not going to catch them in the Chrono. But you can't pick into good.
Ember.
I'm glad to see something like this from CDEC. As I said, they're probably going to pick 1 or 2 new heroes. They pick Lion and Ember that they didn't play earlier this series, and they just go for the early game super skirmish lineup. Bounty Hunter with Iron Shell, Ember with Iron Shell is ridiculous, like minute 10 to 15. It's insane. And the Ehome heroes don't deal that well with Ember, apart from Storm, who's a really good counter pick. But the counter from Storm comes out in the form of the Orchid. That's what he needs to get there first. So if they manage to early roam correctly, if Ember manages to get a head start, he could easily, like, AA/Shaker have nothing on this hero.
Yeah, there's no... Oh,
This
they got
guy
the
does.
Zeus. Interesting. I was going to say there's no, like, Tornado from Invoker or Yule Scepter to just purge that thing off, but now you've got 2 potential early Yule's pickups. All right, guys, so heavy magic damage from Ehome. The Zeus has not been seen a whole lot, but gives you great detection versus Bounty Hunter, so both teams have a lot more vision this game. Like, we've only really seen, I guess, Clockwork is the main vision hero so far this series.
And Zeus with Ancient Apparition is pretty crazy. You've got a lot of global support for kills, and also Ice Vortex makes all of Zeus's damage that much scarier. So I think it's a pretty good pick from that perspective as well.
Well, David, how do you feel about the draft? Do you like this draft for CDEC? Do you give them an edge? Is it still coming down to execution primarily for you?
I think draft-wise, they did something a little different, but they by no means have like, oh, they've got the draft, which is going to win them game 3. I think Ehome have just looked too solid overall, especially in the mid to late game. Even last game when they had the shaky start, they still had no problem sealing the deal with just outplaying CDEC in the mid game, and I think we'll see a similar story here.
Well, you're a man who likes to see teams lose. You said it at the summit. It's fun to see teams knocked out. So are you calling 3-0 here?
Yeah. I think this will be a 3-0. I think CDEC are looking like the team who's going to... They still get to go to Seattle. They'll be the wild card
And they
team,
still have a good shot at being a wild card team. Yeah.
I think they'd go if they... Well, we're assuming they lose here, but I think without a doubt, Ehome heavy favorites. I would say, even just looking at the drafts now, I think CDEC have an okay draft, but I still think Ehome is like, I would say 90% certainty that they're going to win this game.
All right. Base Kip, you agree?
Yeah, I think so. It
All
seems
right.
fairly likely.
Frodo hath spoken.
There you go.
And with that, the ring will be cast into Mount Doom. Cinderin, are you going to...
That was like the most random thing ever.
Get it? Because Base Kip looks like Frodo.
Yeah. But what about the rest? Like, how is that over? Anyway. Okay.
I haven't slept much, man. What can I say?
It's all right. It's all good.
So,
okay.
Cind, let's put you on the spot here. Are you agreeing with the 3-0, or do you actually think this will go for?
I'm agreeing with the 3-0. I said going into the series, I think CDEC is going to take a game. I think the game they should have taken was the last one.
Mm-hmm.
This is still possible, and what I like is their approach to the game, that they're struggling and they pull out something different. I don't think their draft is better than Ehome's. I think it's surprising, and it could work because Ehome are not used to playing against this kind of draft. But if you just look at the picks and how they match up against each other, CDEC has a very narrow timing window. And if they don't start snowballing like minute 10 to 15, their lineup, I actually think, is going to get crushed minute 20 and onward. They have to win early game. Even more than in game 1. In game 1, I said it, and they held it for like 65 minutes, which was, in my opinion, a really impressive play from them. But this time around, they don't have the split push. This time around, they don't have any push, actually. And they also probably lose the late game. So, got to play the early.
Well, with that, we get underway with game number 3. Zeus is going to be in ROTK's hands, but it's not an offlane Zeus. He's actually heading towards bottom. He'll be up against a Lion Bounty Hunter dual lane. Not so
classic lane.
Okay, now they're burning in the Ember. So aggro try on the Zeus. This will certainly not be fun for RTK, but just trying to get a little bit of CS here with the Lightning. Has to be careful. I mean, he sees the Bounty Hunter and 2 heroes missing. He should know that there's the potential they're sitting bottom, and he is going to sit back. This might be the wave where they go. Creeps, I think, got eyes on the Dire heroes. They're going to back off. So it is going to be try on solo heroes at first, but then they decide not to try lane for Ehome. They rotate their Earthshaker down. They're heading towards bottom or maybe even onto mid. And, of course, our mid lane, the last matchup here will be CTY on the Storm, who's been exceptionally impressive this series. Up against Cheeky, already off to a really nice start. They do find RTK. A little harassed, but not a whole lot of follow-up.
This mid lane is regarded as one that is co-op favored. So there's a bit of pressure on Shiki to make sure to play aggressive, always getting out the Shadow Strike whenever possible, and skilling at 2 points is the standard here. And then you really try to pressure and bully the Storm out of lane, but CTY is out farming him pretty handily for now. Well, I guess it's actually
pushing,
even
guess,
if he gets these 2 CS now. He will not get both. Oh, he did. Nice. Just on the edge.
Do you want to point out, Dyer had a ward here. I think they saw the Earthshaker poke his head out of that tree line. In any case, he moves towards the top and they want to secure this for CTY. Let's see what he's going to get. Actually, 3 heroes converging. It will be a DD rune, and he's already got the bottle. This is extremely nice for CTY, and now the lane is going to get hard for Queen of Pain, and maybe not worried about dying, but going to have a very difficult time shutting the Storm down. They do find RTK, though. In comes the Bounty Hunter, and he had to know this was likely to happen with BH off the map, probably giving up the first, but one more auto attack, and, well, that is the other side of running this Zeus solo. He just does nowhere to go when they jump him.
And that was like a risk-reward type of play where it just didn't really make sense what RTK was going for. He went forward to go for an Arc Lightning when he was almost out of mana himself. He needs all his mana to try to CS with it. And
well, maybe he won the free fountain trip.
Oh, okay. Sure. All right. Worth.
Infallible logic. You can't argue with. Don't even try.
Yeah, I won't.
But
I heard your joke about base kip. I mean, I just gave up.
This shit's over, man. Now they're trying to creep cut here with Garter. So he gets his boots after this, and he's 230 gold or so in the bank as well. RTK is going to kind of resort to the jungle, and so they're just going to press in a bit deeper now. They are not going to leave him alone. Do you need to think about switching up your lanes here? Should the Earthshaker be coming bottom? Are you content with Zeus dying and being pressured as long as you're getting enough elsewhere sinned? They are winning that mid lane with Storm, I believe.
It's even.
Oh, okay. Even with the DD rune.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So Shiki is doing a pretty good job. If it wasn't for that DD, I think he would be in a way better position here. It's given Storm quite a few CS that I believe he wouldn't have got else, maybe 3 or 4. So there would have been a decent discrepancy building up if that didn't happen. But as far as top lane goes, Gyro and AA are looking good against Darkseer. So this is the question: how much value are they getting out of the AA in the top lane? I think Gyro can do this alone against a against a Darkseer. Darkseer's getting full experience. I don't think AA is contributing much. If they rotate both AA and Shaker bottom, they might be able to just hold the lane and get free experience for Zeus. Or they could try to roam and... they can't gank until Storm is 6, I guess.
They are making their dive again on RTK. Is there a TP coming in? I don't even know if a TP would save him, to be honest. He's going to get stunned. Takes a follow-up couple of nukes. They look for the trade, though. Garter getting caught out. Tries to wind through the tree line. He'll end up going down. Aggressive. Won't be pursued. They just TP the Gyro on in. And ends up being a 1-for-1.
And this puts Gyro in this lane. He just needs to play down here now, and Zeus swaps to top. That's probably the best idea. Zeus can also easily stand against Darkseer. I don't think he's at much risk of getting killed. It is, of course, possible for Darkseer to try to run him down with Iron Shell, but if you just get into the tower range and if you use Lightning Bolt and Arc Lightning, you probably...
And you can always carry TP. Darkseer not likely to get vacuumed this early.
That is true as well. And now AA will switch. This was the alternative. Let's say either you switch down the supports and help Zeus, or you switch down the entire lane.
Well, it's 2-1, CDEC with the first blood. CS-wise, we are looking at a pretty even game so far across the board. The Zeus slightly behind the Darkseer, the Ember and Gyro dead even, same for mid. So I imagine it's a slight CDEC lead here, but hardly overwhelming. They are looking for those shenanigans. RTK, you just can't be on your own, my friend. Out comes the Janata. Do they get the double Ion Shell going? Meanwhile, Gyrocopter will find the Ember Spirit. That's probably the bigger kill overall as they take him down bottom lane. But it is again a 1-for-1 RTK. He's been on the wrong side of all 3 of these takedowns.
It is the risk you run when you play a side lane Zeus. He is just very, very susceptible to ganks. And they did it knowing that it was into a Bounty Hunter, which
he could have played it a little safer with the first death, but I mean you're likely to give up deaths at some point, one way or the other.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean I think it's still okay though. Like the Zeus brings so much later on just from the ultimate alone, but it is going to weaken their lanes. And this is why you pick Bounty Hunter if you're CDEC. Even before the Zeus came out, they just wanted to, like you mentioned, just basically break down the lanes almost immediately and just apply pressure all over the map. Don't let Ehome get to the mid game where they just seem to basically make better decisions than CDEC.
Darkseer is going to surge away. He's getting scared of the rotation. But there's no one there. Oh, maybe he just wants to go and shell, actually.
Oh, Garter and Lanham going to find each other. Only with the Orb of Venom, no phase boots yet, so can't really threaten for a potential kill, but can still do a lot of harass. There's another ball in by CTY, double roll forward. There's a follow-up stun. I don't know if he has regen run. He can pop it now. He's going to pop it as he leaps forward, but the chains will cancel the regen, leaving CTY in harm's way. He's bought his Gloves of Haste, and Zeus will come in. Rebuffs the aggression from Aggressive.
I actually think Aggressive could have pushed for that kill.
Oh, and while that's happening, looks like Shiki ends up taking down Lanham in the mid lane. Earthshaker picked off. Just tried to leech the Experience Man, and the tandem of Queen of Pain Garter gets it done. Overall, blow for blow, these teams are going back and forth here. Pretty.
I feel like that's Ehome favored, as long as they trade every time and they are getting even farm. We talked about it. My expectation of this game is that if CDEC don't start snowballing really hard, their mid-game, they're going to be struggling to find the right type of fights against this Ehome lineup.
Now, to be fair, I feel like they haven't hit their peak yet by any means.
No,
the Queen of Pain Scream isn't max. They don't have Track. Lion's not 6, and Ember doesn't have max Flame Guard. To me, that's like when they hit all those timing windows, and I guess Ember gets like phase/drums, that's where they really do need to make things happen. It's going to be a smoke from CDEC here, Sin. They're heading towards bottom, and there's actually 3 heroes in the neighborhood. There was a Radiant Lane Ward that saw the Darkseer, but that's not going to necessarily give this thing away. CDEC march in, and Queen of Pain will find the Ancient Apparition. It looks like he's going to try to walk through the pull-through. I don't even know if he saw them, but either way, DDC goes down here. Either to neutrals or to heroes. They'll karate chop him, and they'll end his life. The Romy Bounty Hunter's been reasonably effective so far.
It's been pretty good from Gardner. He set up 4 out of 5 kills in 8 minutes. And now they're putting him mid for a bit. I think they want to find the level 6 on their supports at this point.
They are starting to give Zeus a little more room, though. He's almost 6. As much as RTK's died a bunch, so what? He's going to have his ulti soon, and they have a Storm. You Zeus ult, you Storm Ball, and a lot of these heroes will just die to that, plus like maybe one other nuke from another support. That is the scary thing, is you're just up against this global combo.
He's also good at keeping track of the Bounty Hunter.
That's true. And de-warding if CDEC try to get those aggressive wards down, which they do have one mid, by the way.
That's an integral part of how their lineup works, actually, for CDEC, is that they want to have deep wards into enemy territory and find ganks. So if Zeus starts playing a little bit of counter ward duty and sacrifices a few CS for that and just lets someone else take the lane, I think that is a really good play. But he doesn't know where to look for now, and he doesn't have good items, so if he starts bolting multiple times in his own jungle, he's going to run out of mana.
Oh, they did see Garter with the Ion Shell. There's a Radiant Sentry that a hero nearby, giving them the vision. So they ping it out. Garter thinking about a foray here behind the tower. Do they want to bring in anyone more? Those other 2 heroes off in the woods have been scouted, and they know CTY is going to have to go back to the well. At the same time, nobody to really gank. They're just hugging the tower way too much. Can they? They have the Darkseer.
This.
They have Darkseer and Ember. They can definitely take this. This would be big.
Really big.
And the Radiant Squad, although they have the lane ward, I don't know if they're really expecting this to be stolen, nor if they...
This is level 6 for Bounty. If they don't share it. They're sharing it, though.
He's going to be close regardless, I guess. Already hits 5. Oh, maybe they do give it to him. Surge away by the Darkseer. Garter... Oh. Not going to quite get it, but very close.
That is really important. This is a gold and experience swing of like 700 or 800.
Yeah. And now it can fuel the aggression. The Ion Shells continue to be spammed out. Gyro, though, is still the leader in net worth. Right behind him is the Storm, and these heroes can instantly turn a team fight, so that's definitely something CDEC have to be wary of. As much as they've had a really nice start, they're not out of the woods yet by any means.
Is there a sentry? They see him.
They've had a lot of sentries around the map. I believe there were 3 down, or there are 3 down. Yeah, there's one up just near the topper. It might also have been for a D ward. But they're definitely trying to keep tabs on the Bounty Hunter.
This accounts for part of the discrepancy between the supports and the 2 teams. The Dire supports, about 2k net worth. Radiant, 1k net worth. Spending a lot on just dropping sentries and getting vision out. Not really accomplishing too much kill-wise. However, Zeus is 1.5k almost behind the Darkseer. So this game is fairly even on gold. I would guess Ehome has like a 2k lead at this point, just judging from those numbers.
Oh, you mean
CDEC has 1500 lead.
I thought you just
Wait, did I say Ehome? Hang on. Did I actually mean that?
I think you meant CDEC.
Yeah, CDEC.
Because their supports are like
Yes,
2k
of
down
course.
alone. Yeah. That's the big thing, is the supports are really poor against a bounty hunter draft, like with a lot of burst damage and gank. They could become liabilities as we move forward into the mid game. And also, if the CDEC supports get farm, then this Ehome draft loses a lot of its potency because it's all about finding pickoffs with the globals. Storm not a true global hero, but has a semi-global ability in the zip, and it's generally being very difficult to get those kills if heroes are tanky.
They're playing it pretty calmly for now, Ehome. They got a lot of gold on the Storm Spirit right then. As much as CDEC are leading, I am starting to feel like something needs to happen from them soon. They have so much potential, and they're not using it right now.
It seems like they might feel that way as well. Ehome are going to make a journey here. They smoke, and they're walking towards the bottom lane. There's nobody in that lane anymore. XC has run away. So this will likely be a wasted journey. They're trying to set up this push bottom, it seems. Get the ward down. CTY, they might. Do they actually see the hero in lane? No, Darkseer a bit too far back. Don't think they scouted him. And, he stays just out of vision. So they're not going to know that XC's there, but they are now trying to pressure on mid. CTY goes back to the lane. He'll continue farming. He does go Bloodstone build here. Not going for the Orchid. There's a lot of value to the Orchid this game, but it seems that he just wants to quickly try to move towards a more late game-oriented build.
There are two ways of reading the situation. One is you get the Orchid to counter out mainly the Ember or the Lion. The other is
or the
CDEC definitely wants to fight, so he could very easily rack up charges if he plays it well.
Well, they're going to ball in now. Are we going to see our first Zeus ult of the game? RTK has it and doesn't have them on anymore. Throws out a lightning bolt instead, and they don't engage. A little bit worried about counter initiation, it looks like. Don't think they had tabs on Q here, and Lion can make that Storm's Day very sad very quickly. Still a Finger of Death. I guess that's the big ultimate missing. Otherwise, everyone's pretty much online, ready to get started here for the upcoming fights. Aggressive wards going down for CDEC. One got dewarded, or no, I guess it expired, the one towards mid. I'm not sure, but either way, it's gone. But they are trying to emphasize that vision that you mentioned earlier.
Ehome are playing it very safe and not getting caught, but it's costing them gold, I think, still. I can't imagine them farming the same as CDEC. That was a tower, so I don't know. It might just be even, honestly. Maybe they're not even gaining.
It's a one tower.
Surprising, because CDEC have decent farming potential. They have Iron Shell, they have Queen of Pain Scream, Ember is pretty good at farming. And
Storm has done like 2 or 3 pretty big stacks at the big camp, I believe.
Yeah.
The one was stolen, but that was it. Well, Sen, you said you felt like CDEC have to start doing something. You still feel that way with it
Yes.
hanging around 3K?
Yes.
So what is that move? Is there a certain hero you want to focus, a certain lane you want to pressure?
I think you want to try to kill the Storm a couple of times, if possible, or at least once. I don't know if they realize he's the top farmer of the game, but the only counter they have to Storm is Lion, and that is not reliable come mid-game. He will have either an Orchid or BKB, and he can just jump and kill Lion, and then it's a free fight after that for him. He's going to have Bloodstone if he gets charges. This is, again, we've seen this a couple of games earlier in the tournament with Ball Lightning, where Storm Spirits where they farm a lot in the start, and then the enemy team has no counters, and they just get out of control.
Nice Zeus ult there. Scouts everything out. They're going to ball in with the Storm. CTY gets Hex. They may try to turn on him, but the Ice Blast is coming along with the Fissure. Big combination play. It's still enough to bring down CTY. Looks like Garter should go down to the ultimate of the Ancient Apparition here, but they may lose Q as a trade. Ember leaps forward. Blink in from the Queen of Pain. Gets the Scream. Finds the second kill. Searching for a bit more aggressive. Going hard on the backlines. Brings down the RTK. It's 3 dead. It's likely to be 4. Double Remnant in and got him. Says Aggressive. Now it's up to Gyro to be the hero. Laying into Aggressive. Can't finish him, though. Takes a Scream of Pain. Now blink forward. Beautiful body block by Shiki. And ZYF, with no ultimate, nowhere to go, is going to be 5 heroes dead. Ehome heavily outplayed, and it all really started with CTY getting hexed, impaled, and just blown up off the bat.
There we go.
That's the fight.
And they got more than they came for, even. Ehome tried to fight that, turn around, and help. They could have sacrificed their Storm and caught their losses, but they tried to take the fight. Great angling play there from from the Ember toward the end. So if you see this, they open, they get the good AA ult, and because of this, they might think they have a shot at this fight, and I honestly can't blame them for it. They get Garter, DDC is there, and now from the left, Ember now comes in. They have no escape path. Actually, the moment Storm got open, I don't even know if they could have disengaged on second thought.
It looked like he wanted to ball in, bait them to turn, and then ball right out to set up the Shaker AA combo, because he was already starting to turn to get away, but they were just too quick on the Hex.
Oh,
and then
Jara
he just
actually
fell
almost
apart.
killed Lion there with call down. Yeah. That would have made a really big difference.
If they
'cause
had
then he
ZYF
lives.
there sooner as well,
Probably.
it might have helped. But it was just a tough
Yes.
situation to get there that quickly. It all happened very suddenly.
5 kills in a tower.
How many
5
track kills?
Oh, I guess
5 track kills.
It might have been.
It was at least, I think it was at least
3
a
of
couple, yeah.
Yeah, we could. If we could still bring up the match recap or the fight recap, we could have seen how many times he cast track.
That's a good point, actually. I wish there was a way to see actual track gold in Dota 2, but oh well. That's the other thing I would love to see is, you were talking about how Dota TV can be improved, and I would love to see that more like detailed endgame score screen.
Dota 1 had a really nice one, considering it was in the Warcraft 3 engine.
Yeah, I mean, the UI was pretty crap, but the information available was really comprehensive. Look at this end. It's a pipe rush on Darkseer, and it's all magic damage coming out from Ehome. This feels like a really strong pipe game.
They need to keep this up now, CDEC. The one issue I still have for them, like right now, the way the game is going is exactly what they wanted. They just got the fight they really needed. They're definitely leading very well on farm here. But their lineup has one big problem we haven't talked about too much. What's the win condition? How do they end the game?
They can't break the base very easily.
Their
They have to
lineup
just
is really bad at pushing and roshing.
They have to like thoroughly just and constantly gank Ehome.
And killing Roche for this lineup is going to take like more than a minute, because Ember is awful at killing Roche. Quap is decent if she has damage items, but she does not yet. The other heroes are kind of useless. So the way we generally see teams win games is that they get ahead, they get an advantage, they ward aggressively, kill Roche, and push high ground with a tanky frontliner. They can't get Roche, and they can't... Like, Ember is the biggest damage dealer against the tower, but he's a very fragile hero to put in the front line.
And he doesn't hit that hard yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the thing is they get a 5-man white mid, but that's largely because Ehome committed to a fight. Otherwise, I guess the other way to play it is to starve them, but it's going to be a long time before that starvation mode fully kicks in, and it's really tough to stop this Storm from doing this thing. Has the Bloodstone up. If he's not initiated on you, he's likely to be able to farm.
And I don't even know how well starvation is going to work, because in my opinion, let's say we get into a 40 minutes. Let's say CDEC have starved them out and they try to push at 40 minutes. I think with a 10k deficit, Ehome still win a team fight in their base.
Yeah, if you group up on the high ground.
And you can't push. That's the problem. So if you're going to start sieging the tower with like your Ember or whatever, Storm can jump him, or you can call down or whatever. Like, you probably need to jump him with Storm, actually, else you can just sip out. So let's say Storm jumps him. The only counterplay for CDEC is to either blink Hex with Lion or blink Vacuum with Darkseer. And no matter which of them you do, the inevitable follow-up will be AoE, and then you can just Fissure and counterplay the fight. So.
They are going to find one bottom, but out comes the Ice Blast to try and turn this. They have the pipe ready, though. Shiki
nice pipe.
Taking a bit of damage. They may commit for this one. Zip forward from CTY, low on mana, though, and doesn't have the follow-up to continue this engagement.
That's a good pick.
Clean pick. That's before the Lion Blink, and in fact, I don't know if he needs it with this Surge. But it's probably going to buy it soon.
So that cost them nothing. They only use their pipe. Oh, well, and finger actually, but they kill the second highest net worth hero on the Ehome team. They get a tier 2 for this pick. This is very methodical. Kill into collateral damage. Oh,
CDEC.
Nice Fissure.
Close to just overrunning heal.
Max
They will
range.
get the super long range Quid of Pain ult kill.
That's ballsy. That's a very long cooldown to throw out for that, but
He got it. Did the math.
great awareness of the range.
It's like a bit longer than the actual visual animation,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Which makes it a little counter. Like when you play, you don't have the. This is strictly an experience thing. You just need to play the hero a lot to get a feel for it. This is. Look at how. I mean.
It looks like it wasn't even close. That was like 400 units from where the visual
It's because
ended and where it actually truly ended.
if you remember, Quap ult got buffed at some point.
Yeah, but they
to
never
have-
updated the animation.
But they
I think.
didn't update the length of the animation. I think just the length of the damage. So
Yeah.
it doesn't look at all like it's gonna hit. But yeah, that's why it's a knowledge thing.
We beta. No, they want aggressive. This is
boy.
a big kill. They find him off the bat. 427 gold for that. Goes to the gyro as well. And Bloodstone charge. Thank you very much. But Q has his
Looks
blank.
like CDEC want to try to make a counter engage here that is not...
Oh, I don't know about this end. CDEC are walking into the lion's den if they try to contest these ancients.
Getting a little bit of a track out now.
That's the thing is Ehome are still way scarier if they're all together at this stage. With the Zeus ult, the Ice Blast, Fissure, Call Down, and now the BKB for Gyro. That ending that kill streak got it for him.
Was that a secondary Soul Ring for a Storm on the courier?
I guess so.
I think... No? Did I... Am I
Might have
seeing
been for it's for Lana maybe.
Am I seeing things? I don't know. He,
ROTK already had his, so maybe he bought one and sold it, or maybe it was for Lana because he went Tranquil Soul Ring.
I have a hard time believing he got his Soul Ring minute 22 though.
That's
If it was on the courier, I probably just saw something that wasn't there.
Wouldn't be the first day for any of us, to be honest. It's been some long days here at the TI5 hub. Good
200
ones.
gold to go for Darkseer to blink, if that's what he wants. The alternative for CDEC is to tank up so hard that they have a shot at breaking high ground. It's either based on really crisp execution and engagement, or they need to be able to outlast the whole Ehome combo, which I feel like is pretty unlikely.
So is this where you want to see, like, I don't know, more BKBs or Solar Crest? How tank up? How would you say?
I don't know. Hearts.
All
That
right.
isn't really that good against Zeus either.
Force Staff's pretty good.
That's true. It was yeah. I said blink. Force is good as well. They can save someone from
I want to ask you, Sin.
Vortex.
Have you
Fissure.
ever seen a game where you're like, Force Staff sucks here? Like,
No.
what an item.
Yeah, that's what I generally say. It's like when you're playing a support and you don't know what to get, just Force Staff is almost always a useful item in every fight. What makes it such a good item is that if you think about it, the way most items are, you're like, it's really situational whether this item will be useful for me or not. There doesn't seem to be a fight where either moving yourself or an ally forward or saving them is a bad play. If you're ahead, it gives you more kills. If you get off on the wrong foot, it saves a key hero. And if the enemy's in a bad position, you can even do the aggressive Force Staff that we don't see that often. It's just such a great utility item, which is also why it's been nerfed a couple of times, but it's still great.
I wonder how hard it would have to be nerfed. Like, while still obviously it has the active, or it's not Force Staff, before it stopped being a good item. What if it gave you nothing but the active? Would you still consider it an item that should be gotten that early?
I wouldn't get it as early, but I still think it would be a great late game item.
Yeah.
It's the best counter.
That's how
one of the
good it
best
is.
counters to Hex.
Yeah. Well, with that, we'll see a bit of a zip in top lane, but looks like Aggressive is able to jump away. He is building towards the Battle Fury.
He can play like this because Storm didn't go Orchid.
Yeah.
This was the choice that
And
that
Storm's
CTY
not going
made.
Orchid. He's going BKB next, so
Yes.
he might be going for more of a late game build here. Maybe
I think
skip
it's
Orchid,
okay.
go Hex. Orchid's
Yeah,
just-
at that point you get Hex, I think.
I think you do. I mean, Orchid is pretty nice for the damage and the mono regen, but he's already going to have a decent amount from Bloodstone.
And you would imagine at some point Ember's going to get BKB. Because he will have to in this game. I
Or
don't think-
Manta. He already has the Yasha, so I guess either's... there's a lot of other stuns to be
Oh
fair
yeah,
from
it's
Ehome.
it's just that the Hex is obviously going to work against the BKB. Then they can still get a jump.
That's a good point. Well, do you feel like CDEC are doing enough? I think that's my question.
Well, we've asked it a couple of times. I think the answer is still the same. It's a good lead, right? You're looking at the numbers and you feel like most games this is such a clear lead that they have a really good shot at winning.
They tried to engage on Gyro, but they do whiff on the initiation a bit. Ice Blast comes out. Zeus
all
Ult
that
comes
bad.
out. They pop their pipe, and it's a BKB for a BKB.
That's
But
alright.
with quite a few ults used. Not so many on the side of CDEC, which is where they want to go in. They try to get off the chains initiation ball. They catch the Ember. Little drive-by attempted. Aggressive is going to be over-aggressive again. Still, maybe the team can turn this. Very nice stun combination with the vacuum, able to make it a 2-for-1. They do lose their Ember. And at the same time, though, Shiki starts to get out of control. Now on a mega kill streak.
5-on-5. 600 gain again. They're almost 10k ahead. And a big
They're
part
stealing
of,
Ancients. This is another
Yeah.
like 400 gold swing.
Oh, it's even more than that, right? You need to consider it's 400 gold for one team.
Oh, sorry.
And a loss for
800,
the other, right?
800
Yeah.
gold swing.
So that's It's pretty good. If you look around the map, you'll see if the. Oh, wait a second.
Oh, no!
Nice
The
play.
combo plays, CDEC. That is something that Ehome can ill afford to give up.
That is the type of plays they just need as many of as possible. All right, we're starting to reach the point where they might have built a big enough fleet that they will have a shot at high grounding. So now the question is, how do they secure the Roche? Who do they give it to? And when do they start damaging the base towers? Because let's see, they've lost 1 tower and they've destroyed 4. So a part of the gold lead is still possible for Ehome to claim back by getting at least the 2 tier 1s, but it's difficult for them to get out on the map. The CDEC heroes are controlling the map very well right now.
There's the medallion, so obviously Roshan is on the menu.
Man, look at the net worth on Zeus. Oh my god, I didn't realize.
He's still trying to complete his Midas.
He's been building same net worth.
He's been building this Midas for like 15 minutes, I think. They haven't. I feel like they haven't really gotten any kills with the Zeus ult plus Stormball.
No.
And a lot of it, I guess, is just if they go for that play, CTY's on his own, and he's up against a Lion, and he just has never really felt comfortable to make those jumps.
It's because he didn't go Orchid.
So
then they could have made use of that.
Yeah. Are you now feeling in retrospect it should have been an Orchid game, or?
I thought from the start that Orchid was better. I get where he was coming from with the Bloodstone. As I said, it was like one of 2 things can happen. Either he gets Orchid and he finds those pickoffs on the key targets such as Ember or Lion, or he expects that CDEC are definitely going to be hungry for fights and he tries for the greedy build-up where if they find some kills with the Bloodstone, it's going to pay off for later. And I think it's also a player preference thing. I feel like he gets that almost every game. He gets the Bloodstone first. It's his priority. But in my opinion, Orchid would have been better, and it would have easily given him a couple of kills that might have resulted in him having the Bloodstone in addition right now, and maybe have disallowed Lion from getting a couple of his kills too. So maybe the score would have been something like, I don't know, 9-12 or 9-13 instead. That's a really big difference when it's track kills.
Yeah, and I believe it's either level 2 track already or close to it, as he's just hit 10.
He bought Dagon, by the way. I don't know if you mentioned.
More well, we saw it, but yeah, we didn't actually talk about it.
More pickoff, still no push. Let's see how long this takes. Do you want to start a clock?
They have the medallion, but it's not. Oh wait, where is it? I thought they had a medallion on Lion. Did he? I could have sworn he bought one. Maybe I'm crazy.
I think this is happening. They've been in the pit for like 20 seconds and they didn't even get him to half. In all fairness, though, Ember wasn't there, though, from the start.
They're actually just going to give up. They want to try and set up a trap here. Ehome are marching in onto the
pit.
They
used their pipe and...
But at the same time, CDEC might get the jump here. They're going to
that's
instantly
a good
silence Lamb. CTY gets caught. He doesn't even manage to pop his BKB, which he just completed. Storm dead off the bat. It's up to ZYF by himself to try and turn this one, and everybody's going to get routed quickly. Lanham driven back. There's the slice through from Aggressive in his comfort zone. Now ZYF next. That's 3. Looking for the 4th. The chain's available in just a moment. Remnant goes the wrong way, though. May end up allowing this AA to slip away. Not sure if he actually has a TP, but... in any case, now they have all the time in the world to try and rush.
And they still need to be careful with Ice Blast. I don't know how many earn charges they...
There's the medallion. Maybe Lion bought one and sold one. I could have sworn I saw a medallion purchase earlier. Either way.
Are they full health? They actually are. So many earn charges on bounty from these fights.
And it is that same build from Cheeky. It's very interesting because not many other teams are going for this build. Certainly not as the second item. Like, consistently Assault Cuirass after Queen of Pain's Orchid BKB every game.
30-minute Midas.
Better late than never.
Oh, that hurts my soul to see a 30-minute Midas.
What is the tipping point for you where Ehome is just no longer strong enough, even with their amazing team fight and high ground defense? Is it 20K? Is it 30K? Where do you draw that line?
How far ahead are they right now? 14. So 20K plus Cuirass plus Aegis. Then I think it's going to start getting really difficult.
Okay.
Still, this last fight that CDEC won was a lot of it was just the positioning and the fact that the Orchid jumped the Shaker. They can't do that in the Radiant base, realistically. So they got a 3-man Sonic Wave because of their nice positioning and the way they engaged with the smoke. If you imagine that fight where Shaker is not completely controlled from the start, it could have gone differently. Mm-hmm. With just a good fissure.
And also Storm did not get off his BKB, which really hurt them.
That was a great play from CDEC. Oh, he's going to steal the stack one more time here.
They have stolen.
They cannot allow this to happen.
2 ancient stacks and the big stack in the jungle, and that's before you count the track gold and the fact that they're up 12 kills, up a Roshan, up on towers.
Ehome actually need a gem, so they can feel confident in their movement. They're scared of going in. They don't know if Bounty Hunter is on top of them. They don't know.
They don't really know anything, to be honest.
No,
Aside from whatever the Ice Blast gives them.
Their map is pretty dark. They only have 1 ward, which is at the bottom rune. That's kind of useless right now. This is not where stuff is happening anyway.
Yeah, unless there's an actual Roche attempt, but that time is over. CDEC have already claimed it. Still, you can see they're a little hesitant about just directly trying to breach this tower. They want to find the pick-off first. Garter finagling around, deploys a track on RTK. Trying to give a little more comfort here to Aggressive as he jumps in. Wanted to go for the chain sleight of fist combo. And they're also split pushing top with the Queen of Pain. 2,400 gold. If there's anything in the stash, then that's pretty much the AC right there, but looks like there's not. Still, it's close.
And they want to deny the tower, but they're not in a position to do that. Oh, they're trying for the snipe.
Vacuum after the Ember. Initiation finds DDC dead off the bat. The Ice Blast trying to turn it. CTY jumps in. He has his BKB. They get the counter kill on the Bounty Hunter, but is that it? Doesn't feel like it's good enough for how much they committed there.
They used Call Down, Zeus ults. No BKBs, right?
Storm BKB.
Oh, he did?
I believe so.
Yeah, that is not worth it.
Yeah, I mean,
What's the gold swing on that? It's a track kill versus... Okay.
it's, yeah, hardly. With the track, it's not even really a gold swing at all.
Wait, did he use track? It doesn't say there.
I thought he did.
He might have used it before. I don't know. Sometimes those recats are...
Maybe he didn't, actually.
All right, all outer towers gone. Now comes the
But this is the
hardest part.
Oh, Fissure. Do they want to jump on Aggressive? He walks in after he gets stunned and tries to go for another chain, but I think more just trying to show some backbone here against Ehome, who are leading 2-0 in this best of 5. They have a lot of cushion. They can lose this game, and they would still have 2 more shots to take the series. One of them with the advantage and no threat of being eliminated in Game 4. Ideally, if you're Ehome, you just want to turn this one around and clean it out. End it 3-0. Don't let CDEC get their foot in the door. But it is becoming increasingly difficult to see how they keep that door closed. There's only a few more key buildings left between CDEC and their first couple lanes of Rex. Garter gonna throw out a track. There's the chains onto RTK. Oh, it's gonna be another death for him. It looks like gets up getting caught out, blown up initially. They do deploy an Echo Slam here, trying to turn this one around, but so far nobody dead. Queen of Pain low. They aren't getting the big kills. She's able to retreat. Aggressive maybe goes down here at the very end. The Ice Blast barely. Oh, it actually didn't hit. Oh, it did hit the Queen of Pain.
She's gonna live because of that
Pipe.
perfect pipe usage.
Yeah,
I
the
think.
pipe's still going.
Oh no!
And,
Never mind.
Shatters. That is a godlike streak. That's like the Ags. That almost is the entire Ags.
Wow.
He must have gotten.
Yeah, 1,500 gold and a 800 gold swing. That is not right. Oh wait, it is. Yeah, of course, because they lost 2 heroes. Yeah, it's good enough. The math was right.
They are gonna get the Ags
Fine
though,
recap.
and I mean that's gonna make it like they have enough magic damage with the Ags AA ult that if it hits, suddenly it's like the pipe's gone and they're still doing tons of damage.
The good news for CDEC there is CTY did not kill the Quap. He was really close. She barely got her BKB off with like a 1/7 of her health or something and managed to blink out. We're going to not see it again here. We're going to see this again.
Whoa.
I think it might be the last Shadow. All right, we're going to... All right.
Ooh.
That is fancy. And... Okay, this is a pretty long fight. Let's go.
Chain
So if you're going to see here, she gets fissured, then pulled, then burst here. Echo
almost
Slam
dead.
just gets BKB off. Now she's going to
I think he
get
turned
away.
to attack the Ember Illusion by accident there. It looked like because his hero was facing the wrong way.
She's going to pipe and get out there. If she dies earlier, that Sonic Wave isn't going to be there.
And the pipe just hit her in time.
The Gyro also just barely making it out alive. That was a really clutch TP with the Sonic Wave usage. So, and then this Shatter is... Ah, there's one more tick. Very close.
No, while that was all happening, heroes would continue to buy items. And speaking of breaking the base, they're going to try to throw some additional tools into the toolbox here. They grabbed the Necro Book of Darkseer. Kind of a late Necro, to be honest. We're already 36 minutes in. And there's massive AoE.
I think it just means they're analyzing the situation correctly. Like that's the one obstacle they're going to have to overcome. And books are definitely a way for Darkseer to contribute to sieging. An alternative could be for him to get a Vlad's. I think Bounty already has that, right? Or no, he doesn't. So they should definitely get a Vlad's too for the... Even though the armor, well, it's against Gyro, it's still worth it, I think.
But the damage
Also the damage
alone
is
is
good.
nice. You're not really getting the lifesteal most likely, but
It is sick for Ember, though.
Yeah.
The lifesteal aura is so good for Ember.
that's true.
He lifesteals fully, of course, in Sleight of Fist.
And he's getting a lot of attacks off.
When he starts building up damage, you've seen competitive games in the past, I believe, where Ember will actually get Satanic as part of his build. And then if he drops down to half or 1/3, he can pop Satanic, use Sleight of Fist, and have full again. It is very situational, though, because this hero generally wants to build his late-game inventory completely damage-wise, or maybe you have a BKB because you have to.
And he's already gone for a Manta as one of his big items, so that's where maybe you get BKB, but then the rest you really want to be damaged.
Yeah. And the Manta will probably be replaced eventually for a Super League game.
Because there is no Orchid in the end, and that's where the Manta isn't actually that useful. Doesn't do much for this hero.
Is RTK getting anything? He bought that Midas. He is absolutely not getting anything. I think this is a 4-staff build-up.
Yep. Good against this chasing lineup of CDEC.
You know, the thing with this Midas pickup is it took him so long because of the buy threshold for the recipe. I think he could have had a 4-staff like 5 or 10 minutes earlier.
And
than
might
he
have
got.
died less, not given up as
He would
much.
have died less. He
charcoal.
could have maybe saved teammates. They could have taken different types of fights. Like, getting Midas that late, I really do not think was the play. I guess it caught him by surprise how long it took him. But
Yeah, he was sitting on it for like a good 10, 15 minutes, to be honest. We do see
Vacuum.
an initiation here. Vacuum was forced out. Now the 4-staff actually not going to hit anyone with the cooldown. Now CTY jumps in. They get off the Ice Blast. It only hits on Q. That's not good enough. Now the turn. They bring down the Zeus, looking for more Slight onto DDC. The chase goes in. XZ trying to blast them out of this game. He's going to finish off the AA. Now they're hunting CTY back towards the well. No Bloodstone Suicide. It looks like he ends up going down. He'll buy back instantly. They look to turn it at the well. CDEC committing so damn far for this one. They've lost 2. Looking for a bit more. They don't have vision for Garter. He may make his way out the zip.
the gem on the ground.
Gem. Oh, they're
Oh,
going to
they're
find
gonna
him.
secure yourself.
Looking for the courier while this is happening. They're also pursuing the Darkseer outside of the base. He's so fast and they're out of mana. It seems he's going to be able to blink himself to freedom. So they lose the gem. They give up a lot of kills, but they also kill off the Storm, force a buyback. Same for the Gyro. Ultimately, it's still a big win for CDEC gold-wise.
to look on the Radiant side, how the gold is distributed there, Shaker got a big pot of gold. He got 1,700.
Did he? I don't think he had his blink yet.
I'm
did
not
he?
sure if he did. If he didn't, he has it now.
I guess he did.
He must have just bought it. He
Yeah,
got
you're right.
1,700.
He got
So
1,700.
they get a Blink Dagger for the next fight. That is a really important item. It's still a win for CDEC for sure, and they force buybacks. And I was about to say, all right, let's look at the fight first. So what happens here? 4-staff saves and buys a lot of time for Lion here. Even though they do kill him, they're going to have to commit for so long that the Gyro is actually losing his entire BKB duration on killing the Lion. And Co-op gets a nice Sonic Wave, easily able to turn around.
I think they need better Ice Blast. That one only hit 1 hero. If that hits 3 or 4, they probably wipe CDEC diving the well. Now, to be fair, maybe CDEC doesn't chase.
Yeah,
as
then they
far, but
probably don't chase.
Still, there's been quite a few that have been underwhelming. They don't. I guess with the Blink Dagger and Earthshaker, that's where you're going to have better setup potentially for the Ice Blast moving forward. That was kind of a clowny little skirmish.
That was a
towards
weird
the end.
fight. What I was about to say was CDEC are going to have a really hard time breaking the high ground, but not if Ehome helped them with it. They chased outside the base. They engaged on that. They got the Vacuum, forced out the BKB from Gyro, and they were like, okay, they got our BKB from Gyro. We should really fight. We can't let them get that BKB charge for free. And ultimately, I feel like they could have. They could have just, you know, been like, oh, okay, they got a bait play with the Vacuum and Blink Earth Spike. We let them have the BKB charge and hold our high ground. That's what a lot of other teams would have done in that situation. But they really wanted to fight, and they paid for it.
CDEC now maybe looking towards the next Roshan. They've got the Tomato here, joined by the Bounty Hunter. No, they'll see this, but I don't really know if that matters. Oh, it does to Ehome. Scratch that thought. They're going right in. Not sure if Lanham's Blink Dagger has been detected. Are they just committing to the pit? This could be the perfect setup. They're actually in there with 3 heroes. Ice Blast Only debuffs too. They got slightly scared about actually engaging. If they had just bull rushed in, I think they would have caught all 3. Then now Stormball forward. They catch out 2 heroes with this Storm Initiation. Calldown's going to follow up quickly. Darkseer and Bountyfall. Neither is Buyback. They're not going to get track gold out of this fight aside from maybe CTY, and they also don't have enough of the team to take the Roche. Do Ehome know that these heroes don't have Buyback, though? They don't. And that means they can't really... Even if they did, they're also not a good Roche lineup, so...
There's a tier 1 tower bottom, so if they buy back, they get there really fast.
Yeah. Still, though, 2 nice kills sent, and kills at this point for Ehome are going to be
worth
worthwhile.
Was that? That's got to be a lot, because they're really far behind. 20k behind.
That's at least 2 to 3k, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it should be. When it
As a swing.
Looks like the experience about 5,000 for those 2 kills. Is that really updated, that gold graph? I have a hard time believing that. 594. Where's the other kill? You can't find it? Okay. I guess it's...
I don't know. Those graphs are...
Yeah, they were on top of each other, I guess. But
slow.
don't they, like... Doesn't it make, like, 2 points under each other? No, it just makes
does.
1 point.
Oh, the initiation on RTK. We're going to have to talk about it later as out comes the call down. They try to follow this up, but everybody's BKB'd. Welcome to the Golden City. Gyrocopter, no longer allowed to be a member of it. Chains? Oh.
Did he have slight? Or
think
change? He did chain.
I thought he got him with it. Like, I could have sworn it showed the animation, but maybe not. Either way.
Hit slight didn't get chains.
Yeah. Well, in the end, CDEC are going to be able to take the Roche now. It was a little, I don't know, it was a little risky for Ehome to stick around there. Mostly because they're just, I feel like they need that element of surprise on CDEC to have successful initiations.
Yes. When you're 20k behind at 40 minutes, that is... They are not in fighting shape outside their base unless they get a really good jump. 1 minute on Gyro. Can they get the lane before that? Or at least the tower? It's a really big deal for CDEC to get the tower, just to get a start inside the base and be able to position a bit better.
Yeah, and they know the Gyrocopter can't be buying back because it's still on cooldown from the Fountain Dive previously. This is the ideal opportunity for CDEC to march in and look for their opening lane of racks. Zeus is going to draw the creeps back. Pipe was already committed, and unfortunately it's only Shiki who's able to siege this. He's reasonably fast with that, courtesy of that Assault Cuirass, but not overwhelmingly so. It looks like he'll get the tower, but do they actually get the racks? There is still a glyph available. Shiki continue to commit. They don't glyph for the tier 3. Oh, initiation by Q. He's a little bit too far back. You can't engage on that. Lanham fissuring the creep wave. I'll burst down this next wave with pipe down. Gyro about to respawn. I don't know. Do CDEC go for the Cinder? Do they wait until they find their next pick off? Well, I guess they wait.
Quap has the Aegis.
I
I think the best play is to heal Quap up to full if they have any earn charge, and then have her slow siege again, and see what Ehome do. If they try to engage a little bit too hard, that's one weakness of Ehome's lineup we haven't talked about too much. So much of their damage is AOE that killing a single target actually becomes difficult without committing key abilities to the team fight, and that's when the Aegis really starts playing a big role. So if they send in the Quap and let's say they force out an AA ult, for example, just to get the Aegis, then that's probably good enough for CDEC. Then he can BKB after, and they can take the fight in the Rex. Force staff.
Hey, look at that. 2k gold in the piggy bank here for RTK. He's slowly crawling his way back. I mean, to some extent, CDEC do not want to be resting on their laurels. Even though they're up 18k, it's like if these teams had equal farm right now, Ehome should have the advantage, it feels like, especially in the team fights. But that's something CDEC are aware of. They continue to push in. They're going to work on the ranged racks here using just illusions. They do get off a Hex on ZYF off the bat. Now everything starts to break down. Q getting caught out a bit, blown up by the Ice Blast. It did debuff a couple of heroes. BKBs are going to start wearing off here, and Aggressive might be affected by this. RTK getting pursued back towards the well. There's the silence on to CTY. He's healthy for now. The Soulburn's going to take him down a bit lower. Lanham did engage there, dropped the Echo. Didn't get anything out of it.
Yeah, that was a really late Echo. I think he was off to the side and wanted to jump earlier, and I have a feeling Bounty Hunter might have caught him off and just disallowed him from blinking in the first place, or something along those lines.
We may be headed to a game 4 at this rate, but they're not done just yet. They're going to continue to try to
at least one lane.
Chip away at Shiki. No buybacks on 3 heroes, Sid. Actually, it looks like it's 2 lanes of Rex.
Yeah, with this urn, they can definitely keep sieging.
It's Shiki, though. He just is in danger. They're going to deploy a pipe. Another retaliatory lightning bolt comes out. RTK just really wanting to...
Let's fight!
Hey, I'm Zeus, man. 4 heroes running from his lightning wrath.
I think CDEC missed a little bit of an opportunity there. They could have at least got the tower. But
Considering they're risking getting knocked out if they lose this game, it's understandable they want to slow roll it. And for Ehome, I imagine this, even if they go on to lose this, it doesn't really shake them too much. They already have the 2-0 advantage. It would then be 2-1. And, I mean, I think they look back on this game and just feel like, well, you know, CDEC just had a really strong laning stage and snowballed. And as long as we get off to a better start, look at the other 2 games. They were able to take those. So that said, CDEC still trying to close it out. It's not over yet by any means. A Manta gets deployed again. Shiki will be the siege engine here. Garter just trying to get the vision, looking for track opportunities. And first one will come out onto RTK. Now the tower falls, and at some point, if you're Ehome, you got to go. But they don't have an Echo Slam for 25 seconds, and that's a lot of time. There's the silence. Ball forward. Does isolate one on the backside. BKB from CTY trying to finish off Shiki, and he will, but that's just the Aegis. That's a lot of commitment, and now he gets slaughtered by Head Impale. There's the call down, though. It's a good one. Might be enough to turn this. A buyback pull forward. They brought down 2, 3. Insta buyback. It's almost 4. Shiki barely jumping away. It's off the mark on the zip. They need more vision just out of range. They can't get the Queen of Pain. But they do finally hold, Sin. It was a terrible fight for both teams.
Everyone loses gold.
And still CDEC coming out on top. Even with this gigantic deficit, really the power of track gold.
And the fact that they bought back 1 less.
That's true.
I think the buyback on the Storm right now is really expensive.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is they had to commit a Storm buyback for it, which is where CDEC, I feel like, could just...
That Orchid was really good from Shiki.
Oh, on the
Shaker.
The Shaker, yeah.
Because else they get that Aegis for free, and this fight doesn't even happen, which is exactly what they want. They want to get the Aegis for free, and then they want to try to fight into it after, into the Quap Life. It's a really good call down from Yang. Nice damage.
Yeah,
A little bit of a panic buyback from Darkseer. I'm not sure what that was all about. He has no way back into the fight. Doesn't have boots of travel. Oh, he bought them as well. Okay. All right. He really wanted to fight, but
I guess at that point...
That's a lot of gold committed to that. He must have almost had another item then. He bought back, he bought travels. That's like 4,000 gold.
That is most of a Shiva's,
yes.
For example, if that's what he wanted.
So I got a little eager.
It's okay. They almost have Dagon 5. They can't... CDEC can't lose.
They have it.
Oh, he does have it, actually. CDEC going to make another move, and they do know that buyback's been used on the Storm, so maybe they just try to push in bottom and go win the game right now?
Gyro Blink, did we talk about that?
No.
Is that new?
Not sure if it is. Uh-oh, Lanham outside the base, maybe out of position. He blinks away in the nick of time, but that also means he can't really walk in. They managed to vacuum him back, preventing a good Echo initiation. Still, though, Storm standing reasonably strong for now. ZYF not so lucky. Shuri toss almost enough to bring him out. 4 step forward. There's the slash through, and it looks like we're going to a game 4 at this rate, Sin. 4 dead. GG. CDEC, stay alive. Well, the unanimous call for the panel was 3-0, but CDEC proving us wrong, man.
They needed to just... They needed to play super aggressive and cause some chaos and find a couple of good fights with their lineup, and they did exactly that. I think next game, Ehome just safety ban out the Bounty Hunter and try to force CDEC to play a standard kind of game.
Well, last game they banned it. Welcome back, by the way, guys. We've got Base Kip and Gods joining us. But last game they banned it in the second phase. And this game they picked the first phase. So if you don't want them to get Bounty, you have to first phase ban it. So.
Yeah, I think they can. This game they first phase banned Brood. They could probably do that in the second one. I don't know if CDEC want to first phase pick Brood. They might do that if they don't get the Bounty. It's also possible we're reading too much into it and they just got outplayed.
They're definitely worried about getting kind of cheesed by something like a Brood, but yeah, I agree. They can save it for the second stage. If it gets picked in the first stage, you just pick up a classic counter, something like the ROTK Axe, whatever it may be. But that definitely is a hero which caused them a lot of problems this game, and they needed a better answer to it.
RTK, a lot of deaths this game. He started off with 3 deaths. He got a reasonably time level 6, but they just didn't really...
I was going to say reasonable time Midas.
That's
a good one.
Got him. There was nothing reasonable about that.
This is...
And it just felt like they never
Yeah.
got mileage out of the Zeus Storm duo, or I guess the trio if you want to throw the AA in there. They didn't really go on the aggression at any point this game.
Would you agree that if Storm went Orchid, this game would have been completely different? Like, not just a little different, but they might have actually it's a stretch thing they would have won the game, because that is like they obviously lost it really hard after all.
I think it depends on how much map control they're able to maintain, because the Orchid is very pick-off oriented, and I feel like there just weren't even that many pick-off opportunities to begin with. Because like we said, they have the Zeus and the
Our
ancient
MVP.
apparition. Yeah, RTK.
It's a fitting face right now.
Yeah, probably not too impressed.
He's got the same face, win or loss, man. This guy just has no emotion.
I think the biggest thing for me is how well the Bounty Hunter pick dealt with the Ehome supports and kept them down, and they never really got to play their game at all. I mean,
A lot of it was the Zeus pick, though, because
as well.
because of the Zeus, the supports constantly had to move around. They couldn't really get any pulls. They tried for the aggressive tri-lane, didn't really get anything done with it, and then RTK started feeding, so then they'd rotate the gyro bottom. I mean, to be fair, I think Zeus dies in that lane. It's just maybe he died a little more than he had to. So then all the adjustments start happening. At that point, they're already playing from behind, it felt like.
It was a really smart decision to lane the Ember Spirit from the get-go in the offlane, because that was something where Ember Spirit has been shut down and kind of no longer relevant, because you put him in the safe lane, he's really bad against aggro trail lanes. Kind of like Slack is. You can shut down these heroes in lanes. That's where it was Rave who used to pick the hero a lot, and MVP thinks like, oh, we can just aggro trail and we'll shut it down every single time. And
So do you
they
think
kind of dodged the lanes that they didn't
Do you think Ehome was expecting just like a 1v1 there, like just a Zeus versus Darkseer type
Yes,
thing?
I think
Okay.
so.
I agree.
Absolutely.
I think they were expecting that, because
That kind of threw off
running
a lot
aggressive tri-lane with Ember is even less common than running a safe lane tri-lane. So basically it's CDEC taking a chance, because if it is a safe lane tri-lane from Ehome, they lose that lane and they have like almost no recovery plan. Then they need to rotate their Ember to top and Darkseer bottom or something. They need to shift the whole lineup then, and they're the ones that are momentum driven.
We talked about wanting something different from CDEC, just stock and standard wasn't going to do it. This was different, guys, and it worked.
Yeah,
It did.
definitely.
It did.
What's the big pick next game? The big new pick we haven't seen before. I'm gonna say they'll pick something new again, I think. But what's it gonna be? I think they don't get bounties. Now they need something else.
Oh, for CDEC?
Yeah.
I think they're still not going to get Dro. I'm not sure.
They don't really run Wisp.
No.
Well, I guess we'll let them tell us
Elder
what it's gonna
Titan.
be. Elder.
Oh, God.
The return.
All right, well, we know the score then.
chance.
3-1, everybody.
Ricky.
It's a good hero. I don't know why no one plays it.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Someday, Sind. Someday.
Yeah.
Big Daddy will bring it back. But until then, guys, we're going to have a break. Game 4 is coming up next. The TI5 China qualifiers are not over yet, but it's starting to look like it could go the distance. CDEC, stave off elimination. They trail 1-2 in the best of 5, and we'll have that game 4 after this brief break.